Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Why? Because you are on the line with Jacques T. Morris, Atlanta Zone, shirt and tie guy. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen from all around the world. Listen, I'm super excited. I don't think that's anything out of the norm or anything that you didn't expect. And I'm definitely happy and thankful, hey, that you joined me here this evening because I have a lot of exciting information to share with you. You know, you've probably seen me posted on Facebook. You've probably seen videos. You've probably seen emails. And you're probably asking yourself, what is this Project 100? Well, let me just say this. If you are an entrepreneur, which entrepreneurs are on this particular um, training, then you know what residual income is. And it's something that, you desire. And I personally absolutely love residual income. And it is my goal and my desire to help you to earn more residual income. Because as an entrepreneur, there are certain levels or steps that you take rather in your business. And getting to $1,000 a month residual income, let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it gives you some options. So tonight, I'm going to share with you Project 100, the residual truth. Again, if you didn't already know, I'm the guy that wears the shirt and tie. Now, sometimes, hey, I have on the bow tie, but nonetheless, some type of tie. And guess what? I don't know if you can tell in that picture or not, but I'm a brown skinned guy. So, hey, that's pretty cool, right? That's cool. Anyway, I love people of all color. So let's rock and roll because guess what? The money is still green. All right, cool. So who exactly is Jacques? Like who am I? What is my story? Well, for those that don't know my story or maybe you know a little bit about it, hey, I'm going to share some more with you tonight. And again, I'm going to engage. I'm going to interact with you. I want to ask you some questions. I want to see who in our audience can actually relate to my story and who can I also relate to because again, as an entrepreneur, hey, we all have something in common. And just to make sure that I have the right audience on this particular live workshop, if you're an entrepreneur already, like you already have some type of business going on, I want you to put in 1099, 1099 for those that don't know. You know, I actually host 1099 the grind, baby. 1099. Put that in there because hey, we're not talking about W2 income tonight. We're talking about 1099. Cool. Excellent. Excellent. Now, again, hey, we have to be like super engaging because I have to make sure that this audience is dialed in. So let me go ahead and get into my story. And one of the things also that I want to share with you from one entrepreneur to another anytime, and I absolutely mean anytime. And again, the time frame could vary. You could have a few minutes to a lot of minutes, but anytime you have an opportunity, share your story. Share your story. So again, hopefully you're writing that down and you're taking notes. Share your story anytime you have an opportunity. Why? Because there are people that can relate to you and your story that you can make a personal connection and bond with. And simply by sharing your story, you may not even know that you're positively affecting their life and business. However, if you don't share your story, you really, really won't know and you won't give them the benefit of deriving some of the value that you have contained within you because each and every one of you as entrepreneurs, you have value. Okay, so cool. Let's rock and roll. Who is this guy, Jacques? I'm a spiritual guy. I have a very, very strong belief in God. That's why I put that one number one. I'm a very spiritual guy. Now, I don't come out on Facebook and, on webinars trying to preach to you and think things like that. From time to time, I'll share a scripture, and I know different people have different beliefs. However, I don't mind sharing my belief. Strong belief in God and in his son, Jesus Christ. Okay, cool. I'm a family guy. Absolutely love my wife and my three children. Wish I could, well, I don't necessarily have children. My wife has the children, but she just said, no more Mr. Shirt and Tie guy. So three, that's it. We're done. We're out of the game. Absolutely love that lady that you see there on the screen. I mean, like, I just absolutely adore that lady. And if you have someone special in your life, reaffirm to them every day that they are special and that you love them because words, and our loving actions go a very long way. Like this lady has done things for me that has literally helped me stay in the game so that way I'm able to come out here and potentially help and assist you. Now, remember I said, hey, you got to stay to the end of the webinar, and that's the only way you're going to win the money. Okay, cool, cool. All right, I'm a business guy. Like, hey, we're going to talk about business tonight. I'm also a fun guy, and I do a whole lot of other things. And if you go on Google and you check and you type in coolest guy in Atlanta, I guarantee you, well, know what? I'm not going to guarantee you. I'm going to let you go to Google, type in coolest guy in Atlanta, and we'll see who shows up in the #1 and #2 spot. I'm just saying, I'm a cool guy. And there's a picture of me probably about a month or so ago down in Orlando, Florida at the Marketing Mayhem event, hanging out with some top-notch 6- and 7-figure income earners. Chris Record, Leonidas Giss, Robert McCardo, Devon Brown, Cater Comer, my man Cater Comer, Matt Ford, and some others. And then, yeah, and some others. And let me just tell you, when you can get around like-minded people, when you can get around people that will stretch you, that's one of the things that I endeavor to do tonight. I want to stretch you because as entrepreneurs and as business people and just even in our everyday lives, we get comfortable, and comfort brings complacency. You have to continue to get around people that are going to stretch you so that way you can grow. And that's one of the reasons that I love to attend events and to connect with other like-minded individuals. So let me tell you a little bit about my corporate experience. I was a truck driver, my last corporate job. That was, I left there in April 2011. That is the exact truck here in Atlanta, Georgia that I was driving. That was my truck. I randomly took that picture one night. Didn't know that I would be sharing it, 5 years later on a webinar, but hey, it is what it is. I've also worked in executive customer relations. I worked in warehouses. I worked in manufacturing. I worked the dreaded third shift, or many people commonly refer to it as the graveyard shift. Does anybody on here work third shift? Or better yet, has anybody worked third shift? If you either work third shift or you have worked third shift, type in the #3 for me real quick. I just want to see how many people can I relate to. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe how many threes are going through this chat. Maybe I said the wrong thing, or maybe you guys didn't understand what I was asking. So based on our audience, it looks like almost 50% of you, looks like about half of our audience has either worked third shift or they're currently working third shift. That is absolutely that is mind blowing. And again, I used to work that shift, and I'll be the first one to tell you, many of you may reach out to me or see me posting wee hours of the morning. That's why, because I used to work third shift. And when you go on third shift, I don't know if your body ever goes back right. I just don't know. So when you say, Jacques, hey, do you ever sleep? No, I don't sleep. I daydream because I used to work third shift. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on here. Thank you for your participation, by the way, man. I absolutely love the engagement. Now, I worked in sales, and you may say, well, Jacques, what have you sold? I've sold clothes. I've sold videos. Back then it was VHS tapes. I don't even know if they sell those anymore, or maybe you can pick them up at a secondhand store. I sold stuffed animals. Yes, I sold stuffed animals like teddy bears and stuff. I've sold food. I've sold candy. You name it, and it was legal, honest, and ethical. I have to put that in there. You name it, it was legal, honest, and ethical. I've sold it. All right, I was a stock boy. I used to work at the Winn-Dixie grocery stores. Used to put food on the shelves. I was a car driver at the auctions. There's a picture. Literally, I would be the guy out there walking, getting in these particular cars to go drive them down the lanes so other people could buy them, okay? So that's some of my corporate experience. And again, I'm sure many of you on here can relate to something that I've done in the past. So I don't want you to think that I was always an internet marketer. Now, as far as my entrepreneur journey, I started when I was very young, at a very, very, very young age. Before we even came to Georgia, I understood profits. I understood that if I buy something low and I sell it for more than what I bought it for, I was going to make a profit. I don't know, maybe I inherited that from my dad, but very young age, I understood profits. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 1984 from Ohio. I was 9 years of age. So, hey, for those that don't know, yes, I'm telling you my age. My dad started a landscaping business in 1985, and I worked diligently with him. And that was the time that he told me, Jacques, if you really want anything out of life, you need to run your own business. If you've ever heard my song, that's what I say in that song, and that is real. Like, it resonates with me it just resonates with me throughout my life. When I was a teenager, I got involved in mail order, network marketing. Then as I progressed into my 20s and I started banking a little money, I became a loan shark. But trust me when I tell you, I'm not a loan shark anymore. I don't like dealing with people and my money and worrying people about paying my money back. Like, if you need it, you know, like, that's one thing. But yeah, I'm not a loan shark anymore. And I had to find this cute little image. That was me. Sure, you can borrow some money because I was going to tack on the interest, baby. And again, I'm sharing this information with you because I want you to understand I am a very real and transparent person. That was me, Jacques the Loan Shark. You can ask anybody that used to work with me on in a number of different locations. June 2011, that's when I first came to the internet and really, you know, dedicated myself, if you will, or committed myself to learning internet marketing. And in the process, you know, hey, I learned e-commerce, and I also, you know, started to really understand at that time from 2011 onward that the entire world, to a very high degree, was my marketplace. That I could do business, I could build teams, I could sell products, I could do whatever I want and generate profits around the world from the comforts of my home. And that, ladies and gentlemen, to me was something that was truly extraordinary and mind-blowing. Now, let me talk about my struggles because, again, I don't want you to think that it was all peaches and cream. And, you know, like many of you, or better yet, let me ask this. As an entrepreneur, have you ever struggled? Let me just see, you know, like, who's going to be honest. Like, I already know the answer, but um, as an entrepreneur, type in yes if you've ever struggled. See, a lot of people saying yes, some people saying I'm still struggling. Cool. And again, that's why you're here on this webinar tonight, because I'm going to help you to a degree, you know, again, to try to really get through that struggle. So cool. As entrepreneurs, hey, that's what we do. We struggle. And Jacques has had some mighty struggles. So let me share some with you. Credit card debt. Listen, more times than I care to admit, I know at least 4, I had to consult with debit card protection services to get my high interest rate credit cards reduced so that way I could make the minimum monthly payments and eventually work toward paying the cards off. I did it 4 times. Why do we as entrepreneurs do things like that? I have no idea, but I've been there, done that more than a few times, and I'm happy to say that I paid them off every single time. And if you've ever seen any of my YouTube videos, you've seen me actually pay off thousands of dollars in credit card debt right in front of your face on video and actually record it, because I understand that's a struggle that many people go through. I made bad investments. Back in 2003, I made a real estate investment. And I tell you, like, I thought my financial life and my credit and everything, I thought it was game over. Like, I just was like, I'm done. Why in the world did I do that? And again, it wasn't a bad investment. It was an investment that truly lacked knowledge. So it ended up really being a bad experience for me. But, you know, I don't want to cast any type of negativity on real estate. It's just as with any other business, you need to know what you're getting into so that way you don't lose your shirt. And actually, I lost my shirt and a couple more shirts. But hey, as with anything else, given time, you can recover. Good old-fashioned debt. Like, again, I don't know if you can relate. I just bought things that I really didn't need to buy. And next thing you know, man, I was in debt. And I was like, wow, you know, like, how did this happen? Negative bank account. This is something, you know, again, I share from time to time with people. And just to prove it, here's the screenshot. If you look in the lower right-hand corner of that screenshot, it says October 25th, 2012 at 7:08 a.m. in the morning. If you look, let's see, right here, it gives you my email address, jmorrisbiz@yahoo.com. Like, that's my email address today. My bank account balance, for those that can see that number on the screen, right above the white arrow, please type that into the chat for me. I want to see how many people can see that Jacques had a negative bank account balance back in October 2012. Mind you, I started online in June 2011. Okay, All right. I want to see how many people can. Okay. So some people are saying it's too small. Okay. All right. The number is negative $28.51. Negative $28.51. I wish I could make that bigger, but I just don't have the opportunity to do so. I was going to put it on its own slide, but I was trying to conserve space and time. All right. So that's where I was, ladies and gentlemen, on my back, looking up with no other choice but to go up. Now, granted, could things have gotten worse? They probably could have, but at that point, I took a screenshot because I absolutely refuse. I refuse to go any further down. Like, I just refuse. There was something that happened to me that morning where I told myself, things are going to be better. My bank account is not going to look like this forever. And I went out and did something about it. Well, one, I just stayed the course as far as literally, I wanted to give up. I wanted to go back to corporate America. Yes, I had those feelings. And I tried to go back, but guess what? For whatever reason, it didn't work out. I didn't go back. I couldn't go back. And so I'm here today. All right. Okay. Outcome higher than your income. Trust me, when your outcome, that means the bills that you owe, is higher than your income, you will struggle mightily. Again, maybe some of you can relate to that. Back in, I tell the story, and sometimes I don't tell the full story, but in April 2011, when I left corporate America, ladies and gentlemen, it was not my intention to go to my job that day and quit. I was actually, little did I know, I was going through a nervous breakdown at that particular time in my life. And I just went to work and did something totally irrational because I was making $45,000 a year as a truck driver, had a family that was dependent on me, and I went and quit my job. I didn't get any unemployment because I quit. I didn't get any government assistance, again, because I quit. So I put my family in a very precarious position, but it was due, to a health condition. And again, that's a little bit more insight to the story because, again, I typically tell people, hey, I left corporate America, April 2011. But the reality is I didn't mean to quit my job that day. Would things have been different? Would they have turned out the way that they are today? I don't know. But I'm sharing with you in a very transparent manner. That is my story, and it's a true story. All right. Something else that I struggled at was trying to figure out what worked, and then the belief. And this really gets a lot of people. My belief was, can I really do this, or should I just go back to corporate America and settle? So again, those were some of my struggles. Now, where's Jacques at today? After years of grinding, like like that can be working, that can be related to struggling, however you want to interpret that particular word. But I like that word because it just gives me like this gritty feeling, like, hey, like there's friction and I'm going against the grain and I'm going to make it happen. So after years of grinding, I started having little breakthroughs. Little breakthroughs turn into big breakthroughs. Big breakthroughs turn into bigger breakthroughs. And my bigger breakthroughs, I plan on having those turn into phenomenal breakthroughs. 2014, just fast forward the whole story. I made $80,000. 2015, that was last year, made $240,000. You can see within 12 months, my income tripled. 2016, on February 29th, my wife and I, we closed on a six-bedroom, 5 full bath house, brick house, all side brick on a full finished basement. That's me in front of the house. And man, my family just, my wife, my kids, they just absolutely love the house. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this was literally a dream come true. This was something that was in the works for years behind the scenes. And I stayed focused on the goal and just really kept working toward the achievement of it. And it came to fruition. So I'll be the first one to tell you, dreams, goals, they come true. You just have to go get them and you have to keep on working toward them regardless of what's going on in your life. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, Jacques is not rich. However, I'm also not stressed. Hopefully you found the humor in that. I'm not rich, but I am not stressed. Like, I don't have the stresses that I had a few years ago. It's just, I manage my money well. I've taken care of my debt and, I balance things out to a very good degree. And even though I'm an entrepreneur and I take risks, I make sure that, hey, I'm not doing what I did in 2011 by putting my family in a precarious position, if that makes sense to you. Where's Jacques at today? Time freedom. I own my time 24 hours, 7 days a week. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to report to anybody. I do what I want. Now, that's not from an arrogant position. However, that is from a position of freedom. And more so, as far as my time freedom, my mind is free to think of ways to help people generate income, spend time with my family, worship God, do whatever I want to do. Cool? Um, at the end of this month, I'm actually, again, a very, very huge goal or milestone, if you will, is my wife, after 22 years on her job, she's getting ready to retire. It's already in motion. It's a done deal. Like, after 22 years on one job, like, I couldn't stay on one job 22 years. I'm just saying, like, I get bored. Like, but she's going to be retiring at the end of this month. And guess who she gets to work with? Atlanta's own, the shirt and tie guy. So totally cool. Looking forward to that. And now I'm at a place, today, how can I assist more people? Bottom line, how can I help more people? How can I assist more people? How can I help people reach their goals? How can I help them to bring their dreams to fruition? How can I help them to increase their income? How can I help them to create time freedom? How can I help you? So cool. That's where Jockey is today. All right. Now, man, I tell you, I'm a little bit longer winded than I thought, right? Okay. So let's talk about some of the challenges that other people face. All right. Number one, many people feel as though creating success is too difficult. Either they don't have the money, they don't have the time, they don't have the resources. Let me just tell you that to a very great extent, these are what I like to consider to be as excuses. Now, I'm not going to get into breaking all these down, but I'm just talking about some of the challenges people face today. Many of us want something that works. Like, we tell ourselves that, and we tell people that we're working with, like, look, I just want something that works. I just want something that works. And the reality is there's no guarantees. There are no guarantees. However, one thing that I'll tell you about me is, number one, again, as you've already noticed, I'm a caring person. I'll get on the phone with you. I'm transparent, and I genuinely want to see you succeed, even though I can't guarantee that. And also, if you know me, I take a lot of action. I make a lot of mistakes, but guess what? In the process of making those mistakes, I learn a lot, and I also generate a very significant income. All right. Another challenge that people face today, it's hard for them to stay committed. Like, they'll try something, they'll start something. It has their attention for 30, 60, 90 days tops. If they haven't succeeded, they move on to the next thing. I like to refer to it as HDADD, high definition attention deficit disorder, in the realm of being an entrepreneur. It just is what it is. All right. A lot of other people, you have a job, or they have a job, and that job is comfortable. Like, leaving that corporate nest egg or leaving that corporate womb, that is, that's a scary thought for people. And I'll be the first one to admit to you, when you leave corporate and you get out here on your own, it is scary. Why? Because it is not what you have been used to. It's not your comfort zone. When you become uncomfortable, again, you're growing. When you get outside of that protective environment of a job, and you know that, hey, I gotta get it, or I'm not going to eat, or my family is not going to eat, it's a totally different world. So I understand the challenge. I used to be there. And like I said, the story of how I got here. Here's another challenge. Retirement is not going to cut it for a lot of people. Like, the cost of everything seems to be going up. However, your income is not going up. So, like, how do those factors work out in the end? Like, you're looking forward to retirement, but inflation is kicking our behinds, if you will, and our income is not going up. So, like, really, how does that work? And it's funny because ever since my 20s, I never looked forward to retirement. All right. So, okay, cool. Information overload. Anybody suffering from information overload? Does anybody feel like, man, there's too much information, I can't decipher, I can't swim through it, I'm just in information overload? If you're in information overload, type in info, I-N-F-O. Information overload, I-N-F-O. Okay, there we go. Again, it's flying through the chat. Info. I totally get it, ladies and gentlemen. However, here's the mindset, if you will, and the way that I want you to start viewing information. Never ever before in the history of mankind has so much information been readily available as quick as it is at this particular day and time right now. So while you may think or feel as though you're suffering from information overload, again, I want you to shift your mindset and say, look, I have virtually all the information I could ever desire, want, or need readily available at my fingertips or at the push of a button. So I am going to avail myself of as much of it as possible. But here's the linchpin. I am also going to take action on it. Because see, you can take in all the information that you want, but if you never take any action, if you never pour that information out in the form of value, well, that's just what it is. It's just information. It's just knowledge. So again, shift your mindset as far as the information overload concept, if you will. All right. Okay. All right. So why aren't more people succeeding? Like all this information is available. Like, so what's going on? Why are people not succeeding? People are not being taught everything that they need to know. You know, like a lot of, and I don't want to point the fingers at anybody, and never would I want anybody to feel as though, hey, you come out on a webinar and Jacques is talking about a particular person, company, or anything like that. No. I've had my time where I was scrutinized to a very high level. My character, my integrity, all that was questioned. So I committed to myself that I'm not going to do that in a public arena to anybody. So anyway, their leaders or just whatever, you know, like, hey, you're following people, you know, you're trying to learn information and you're just not being taught the right way, you know, and a lot of people keep secrets. They're just like, hey, you know, I'm not going to share that with people because if I share that with people, then they're going to know what I know and then it's not going to be enough for me. Well, my mindset is there's more than enough for you, me, and everybody else to go around. However, the key to us obtaining that is we have to go get it. Like we have to go work for it because nobody is going to give it to you or give it to us. All right. Another reason why people aren't succeeding, they really don't see the value and they're like, it can't be that simple. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, like it literally blew my mind when I made $240,000 last year and when I weigh it versus the time that I actually worked. Granted, all the years to that, you know, I was building up momentum and I was building up value, but success is very, very simple. It is incredibly simple. So, you know, I want you to believe that and I want you to internalize that, the fact that success is simple and see the value in succeeding. Other people, they're not succeeding because they're being cheap. Again, they're being cheap and they're, you know, like some of the things we'll say is, I'm not paying that much for whatever it is. It could be anything from A to Z. Don't say that because the bottom line is things cost what they cost. And if you feel as though, hey, I'm not paying for a particular thing, it's because you have not increased your level of income to the point where it essentially becomes like whatever, like, okay, cool. That's all it costs. I'm at a point where now spending $1,000 to me feels like spending like it used to feel when I would spend $100. And I look forward to the day when spending $10,000 or $100,000 feels like spending $100. Am I at that point yet? Nope. But again, don't be cheap. You deserve whatever it is that you want. So, hey, let's go get it. A lot of people don't have a long-term vision. They don't want to build a business. They just simply want to make money now. I get it because I used to be that guy. I just wanted to make money. I didn't have a long-term vision. I didn't really know what I wanted to do as far as building a business. Your level of income, that is dictated, like at this very moment, even on your job, the level of income that you are currently generating is dictated by the value that you're bringing to the marketplace. You get paid on your job based on the skill set or value that you bring to the job. Now, if you're in management, 9 times out of 10, you make more than the worker bees. And that's because you possess a certain skill set as far as managing worker bees. And that's why you earn more than the worker bees, so to speak. In this industry, network marketing, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, whatever, your level of income is dictated by the value that you bring to the marketplace. You want to increase your income, increase your value. Very simple. All right. A lot of people are not successful and they're not succeeding because they're overthinking the process. Remember I said success is simple. Other individuals, they lack guidance, they lack a commitment, and they lack fortitude. And when I say fortitude, they're not willing to stay the course. They're not willing to endure the storm. They're not willing to jump over the obstacles. They're not willing to climb out the pit, and they're just not willing to stay the course. Because trust me, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a very bright light, and it feels warm. Like it's enjoyable. Okay. Now, here's the question. What if I can help you to earn $1,000 or more residual income in 90 days or less? Who would be up for that? And well, hey, look, if I can help you earn $1,000 residual income or more in the next 90 days or less, type in 90. 90. Let me see how many 90s I get. I know you're probably saying, Jacques, man, like, show me the good stuff, man. You're boring me. Understand that I have to make a connection with you because I want you to understand that I know your pain. I know your pain. I understand what you want to gain. I want to assist you in getting there. Okay, so, man, got a lot of 90s. If you haven't put a 90 in yet, okay, let me ask this question. And again, be transparent with me. How many people are already at $1,000 or more? I'm not even going to say residual income. I'm just going to say $1,000 or better profits in their business. If that's you, give me a number one, please. Just want to get a feel for, hey, how many individuals do we have that are, man, at that particular four-figure mark? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, we got a few people. And again, I appreciate the transparency because it just, it gives me a nice little gauge. So if I had to say, if I had to say numbers based on the individuals that are on this webinar, on this live workshop, I would say maybe probably a little bit higher than 5%, maybe somewhere around 8 to maybe 10% of you are actually generating $1,000 or better profit in whatever it is that you're doing. And I want to say congrats. And to those of you that are not, I want to encourage you to keep on going. Don't stop. Trust me, don't stop. Man, I remember, I'm sorry for going backtracking and reflecting, but I remember 2013, I think it was March. That was the first time that I made $1,000 in a month with like one company. Man, absolutely blew my mind. And now I can, I routinely have $1,000 days. So just stay the course. Okay. Many of you, I'm going to assume, and these are like, because a lot of times people say, well, Jacques, what do you do? Okay, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Jacques does. I'm in network marketing, and I have been for years. Absolutely love it. If you're not in it, I would encourage you to be in it, but you don't have to be in order to be successful. I do a lot of affiliate marketing. Absolutely love affiliate marketing because, hey, I can attach myself to whatever I want to attach it with, or attach myself to whatever I want to attach with, and then share it with others and earn a commission. I do internet marketing, which, hey, that's blogging, YouTube, maybe a little Facebook, things like that. And then I also do e-commerce. Now, you don't have to ask me anymore, Jacques, what do you do? That's what I do. And I would say, what, maybe like 95% of what I do or whatever, it falls into one of those 4 different categories. Am I saying that you need to do all that? No. No, I'm not. I'm just sharing with you what I do so that way people understand how I generate, my income. And again, these are things that I've done. All of them absolutely generate income. However, none of them are perfect and none of them are without flaws. There is no perfect business model, ladies and gentlemen. There is none. There is no perfect business model. There are pros and cons to every business model. You have to decide one that's one or two or whatever that's good for you. Be passionate about it and work it as though your life depends on it. That's it. So wanted to share that with you and make sure you get that so that way you can understand what I do. Yeah, okay. I don't want to go on because I'll just go on and on. Okay, cool. All right, so here's 3 keys to creating an online empire. Many of you may already know this. However, in case you don't know this, I definitely want you to take this down because what you're going to once you get this and you really understand it, you're going to really, see how it is that you can create an empire in whatever it is that you want to do. And I'll break this down a little bit more. All right, number 1, you got to have an offer. Like if you're not offering somebody something aside from, like being a volunteer, of your time, then I don't know how you're going to create an online empire. Number 2, you need an autoresponder. You need to be building a list. This is a must. If you don't take away anything else from this information I'm sharing with you this evening, I want you to understand you need a professional autoresponder and you need to be building a list. It's an absolute must. There was a screenshot I could have shared with you where when I started in 2011, I had an autoresponder, but guess what? I was being cheap. I was like, I'm not going to pay no 30 bucks a month or whatever for no autoresponder just to have emails in it. They're not making me any money. Well, hey, I'm going to totally dispel all of that here in just a few minutes. So you got to have an autoresponder. You got to be building a list because the thing is, if you're in network marketing, not everybody is going to want to join your company. If you're doing e-commerce, not everybody is going to buy stuff from you. If you're doing affiliate marketing, not everybody, look, you need an autoresponder. Build a list. Build a list. Like you ought to go to bed tonight dreaming, I want to build a list. Like emails or leads. They should jump over the moon instead of cows. I'm just joking with you. All right, traffic. Most people miss the boat right here. One, they feel traffic is too expensive. Two, they don't know exactly where to go. Three, they're not willing to make that investment into their business. Look, if you have an offer, if you have an autoresponder, if you have traffic, you can build an online empire. I want you to think about some of the most successful companies in the entire world and the products and services that they offer. And then I'm going to tell you that they have a way to capture your information. Why do you think, they say, hey, go here, take a survey. Hey, go ahead and fill out this form so we can get your email. Hey, why do you think they have people that call and do telemarketing? Look, they have a list. They have a list. You and I are on a lot of companies' lists. And guess what? All successful companies have traffic, because if you have no traffic, I don't care how good your offer is. It just is what it is. People have to see what you have to offer. And I want you to get this. In network marketing, and a lot of times even in other businesses, if you're not succeeding, here's one of the main reasons why. You're not succeeding because you're too obscure. Let me repeat that. And I didn't put this on the slide, but it just actually, popped into my mind. You're not succeeding because you are too obscure. There are not enough people that know what you have to offer or know who you are and the value that you bring to the marketplace. Now, I know I repeated that. Hopefully you wrote it down, and maybe I said it too fast. I don't know. But if what I just said to you makes sense, again, this could be any business like e-commerce, network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever. Because people say, well, Jacques, why do you send so many emails? Because I'm going to make sure that you don't forget about me. I'm going to make sure you don't forget about me. That's why I'm going to email you like twice a day. And that's on a slow day. You let me get around here and start feeling good, I'll send you 3-4 emails from 3-4 different autoresponders. All right, so if that made sense to you, as far as one of the main reasons that you're not succeeding is because you're too obscure, I want you to just type in that made sense, because I got to make sure that you understand what's going on, and I also have to make sure you're engaged. Okay, everybody's on here, and we've had a few other people join us. Some people are going to win some money, and okay, cool. All right, makes sense. Now, I'm gonna share some insight with you. There was a time where I really didn't know what I was doing, but quite honestly, I would have people say, well, Jacques, everywhere I look, I see you. That, ladies and gentlemen, is referred to as omnipresence. You hear me on calls. You see me on webinars. I'm offline at live events. I'm out of town at events. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Google. Like everywhere a person looks, as far as your target market, they need to see you and what you have to offer. That's omnipresent. So look, I guess I'm reading too many books lately. So, again, I'm pouring this value into you, and I really hope you appreciate it. All right, let's move on here. Cool. Okay. All right, so let's talk business. Let's get down to business. If you had a choice, let's take a little quiz here. If you had a choice as far as how you were going to make money, would you rather make money fast or slow? Go ahead and type it into the chat box for me. This is going to be a quick quiz. I need you to bear with me, and I definitely need you to participate. Some people put slow. Yeah, y'all want to make slow money? Okay, cool. All right. So some people actually put slow. Like I see a few people putting slow. Look, if I had a choice and it's legal, honest, and ethical, I'm making money fast. Forget that. I'm making money fast. This is 2016. Look, you should want to make money fast. It's the internet. Like, hey, let's make it fast. Slow is painful. Fast is exciting. All right. But again, hey, all right, so if you had a choice, would you rather earn 50% commission on a product or service that you're referring, or would you rather earn 100%? 50 or 100? Which one? Put it in it. Put me a number in there, cuz. All right, I see hundreds. I don't see any facetious 50s, but all right, there we go. Excellent. Next question on the quiz. If you had a choice, would you rather earn money in your sleep or strictly only make money when you're awake? So that's kind of a loaded question, but I think you get what I'm saying. Maybe I didn't phrase it right, but I think you get what I'm saying. Sleep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, both, but I'm just saying most people, they only earn money when they're awake. And if you're going to be, like a true entrepreneur and you're going to have time freedom, you need to learn how to earn horizontal money when you're asleep. All right. If you had a choice, would you rather have one source of income or multiple streams of income? If you want multiple streams, type in MSI. Come on, let's see how many MSI people. And we are not talking about a TV drama series. All right, excellent. All right, next question on the quiz. If you had a choice, would you rather send one email to one person or send one email to thousands at the click of a button? Go ahead and drop thousands in the chat box. Come on now, this is a quiz. I want you all to get 100%. Okay, cool. Thousands. Drop thousands. I mean, why not? It's leverage. All right, if you had a choice, would you rather earn hundreds per week or thousands? Or even tens of thousands? But, hey, tens of thousands is not a choice. All right, thousands. Excellent. Cool. Man, you guys are doing excellent. So far, everybody has an A. If you had a choice, would you rather work more hours in your business or less hours in your business? If you had a choice, less. Exactly. Only makes sense. So, congratulations. Everybody passed. Everybody got an A. The answers were pretty straightforward. They were pretty obvious. But again, or I don't necessarily want to say, but the thing I want you to get with this particular quiz is that this is reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is reality, and I'm going to tie it all together here in just a moment. So you want to see some proof of this? Like, does anybody want to see proof of this? Type in proof. Who wants to see some proof? Proof. They said the proof is in the pudding. Man, excuse me. I had the belts there. Okay, so man, the engagement is phenomenal. Wow, and we have even more people. Like it's very rare that I'll do a live workshop and this many people not only are on, but more people continue to join. So hey, this is good. This is good stuff, right? Okay, so let's take a look at some proof. Cool. All right. This is one of my autoresponder accounts. This is Aweber. This was one day recently where I generated 236 leads in one day. Now, most people don't know how to do this. Most people don't have the leverage to do this. They don't have the time or the resources to figure it out. And again, I'm going to tie all this together. This is going to be really cool. Total subscribers in this particular autoresponder account, 7,836. At the click of a button, organically speaking, it's about, I think, 6,600, somewhere between 6,000 and 6,600. So at the push of a button, I launch out 6,000 emails. Bottom line, hit a button, send out 6,000 emails. Totally cool. Guess what? Those emails have a message. Those emails, oftentimes they'll have links. Those emails build value, build credibility. Those emails allow people to like me, know me, trust me. So again, this is real. All right. March 26th. When was March? I mean, March 26th. Jacques, come on, dude. Read the screen. That's why, you put it on there. March 2016. Bonus income, $840. All right, here it is right here. There's 100, 350, 390. You see March 15th, March 20th, March 30th. All right, bonus income. Keep that in mind. March 26th, affiliate income from one source, $9,405. There it is right there from March 1st to March 31st. And you can see I took the screenshot today. If you look at the red arrow on the screen, it says 4/12/16, 8:06 p.m. So 54 minutes before I came out here, hey, I took this screenshot to show you that these numbers are real. $9,405. So if you take the bonus income and you add that to the affiliate income, because it all came from the same source, which is just one source of my income, $10,245. You think that you don't want to build a list? You think that it's not worth paying whatever it is you need to pay for a professional autoresponder? You think that it's not worth learning how to generate traffic and generate leads? You think that is not worth you making offers? You can make 5 figures a month through affiliate income just sending emails. Is this making sense? Is this exciting? Like, this didn't happen yesterday either. This has been consistent. And the reality is, like, man, I was online, what, 4 years before I kind of like figured this out, and somebody kind of like shared this with me. Okay, so if this is exciting and this makes sense and you like really see the value in what I'm sharing with you, just type in value for me. VALUE. Type in value, because again, I just want to make sure you're getting this. You, ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you on that's listening to this live or recorded, you can build a list. You can send out emails. You can create an extraordinary amount of leverage in your life. You can live life on your own terms. You can create financial freedom. I'm telling you. And again, this is just one source of income. Income disclaimer, your results may vary. I do not guarantee any income, but I am going to help you out. All right, so current PayPal balance. I don't think it's any secret if you've been paying attention to my Facebook page, and again, I don't come out every day and show you income that I generate. And the only reason that I share screenshots from time to time is that I want you to know that I'm absolutely serious about what I do. Like, that's the only reason I share, because trust me, if I were selfish, I would literally not show anybody anything. I would tuck myself away, probably even shut down my Facebook and just say, you know what, I'm just going to make this money over here behind my computer, and I'm just going to smile and laugh and hee all the way to the bank. Like, literally, I could do that, but I'm not that type of guy. Absolutely love helping people. So I don't share all the time, like my current income figures, because like, I don't know. I just don't do that. Anyway, so as you can see here again, 412, that's April 12th. That's today. At 8:12 p.m., I went into my PayPal account. I was going to log in live on the on this workshop, but I was like, sometimes I get too confused trying to do too much, so I have to keep things simple. $46,281.18. This is what I want you to get. That's just in my PayPal account. Just in my PayPal account. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build this up to $100,000, and then after that, I probably won't, like, I don't know, I'll share the screenshot or I'll leverage it some type of way, because that's social proof. Like, you see, like, not only do I make money, but I have money sitting over in PayPal. A lot of people say, man, I'm not comfortable having money sitting in PayPal. Here's the deal. All my money could go away tomorrow, tonight, right now. And guess what? I have the confidence, the resolve, and the fortitude, the knowledge, the experience, and the relationships, and the wherewithal to generate the income back. Now, it may cause me to sweat a little bit, but trust me when I tell you, I'm still not going to be stressed, because just like you, I don't want to lose any of my money. I worked hard for my money. However, that's not all of my money, okay? That is income right there, like 90 to 95% of it that has been generated through affiliate marketing. And that's something that, I want you to get. All right, cool. So let's move on. All right. How to make your life and business simple. Like, everybody wants to, people should want to, instead of becoming more complex, you want things to be simple. You just want to enjoy life, be carefree, right? All right, here it is. Here's the answer. And you may have already known this, but the reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. When you have a clear vision, it's going to yield, clear vision yield. Yeah, okay. When you have a clear vision, it's going to yield clear results. Like, I absolutely, with all, like, even though I do a lot of stuff, and some people will say, Jacques, you do too much, I have clarity in my business. I know exactly what it is I'm doing. I know exactly what it is that I plan on doing, et cetera, and therefore my results are very consistent and they're very clear. If you want to make your life and business simple, get clarity in it. Know exactly what you want to do, how you want to do it, and seek out the necessary resources in order to bring that to your reality. So, clarity. Again, hopefully this makes sense to you. I don't know. You may be like, man, this guy Jock is crazy. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Would anybody like to make their life and business simple? Does anybody feel as though, they could definitely use a complete overhaul when it comes to their clarity? If that describes you, type that word in for me, clarity. I just want to see how many people like get the fuzzy vision like me. Like, you just kind of like, oh man, things are so clouded. I don't know what to do. Okay, cool. So clarity. And understand that I understand a lot of you do a lot of things, and I'm going to share something with you here in just a moment that is going to provide a ton of clarity in one aspect of my business that I do. And, hey, if it's for you, I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to ask you to partner with me in it. If it's not for you, I totally get it and I totally understand. At the very least, though, like I said, you stay to the end, you're going to have the opportunity to win some cash money, baby. And then if nothing else, at the very least, I want you to walk away feeling good about what I've shared with you tonight. Okay? Very well. Okay. So, Jacques, how can you help me? Like, that's the $1,000,000 question, or let's say 100,000. Nah, that's the $1,000,000 question. Jacques, how can you help me? All right. So this is what I can do. I can create leverage for you in your existing business. And you're probably like, Jacques, nah, dude, like, how can you do that? Well, again, some of the things, some of the principles that I shared with you, and some of the key components to being successful in any business, a lot of you, and I know from different reports that I have, a lot of you just aren't doing it. Like, I already know this. Like, a lot of you are not building a list on a regular basis. I don't know why you're not doing it. I know you've heard, if you've ever heard me, you've heard me say it more than a few times, but you're not doing it. I know you're not doing it. You like, I don't even have to ask the question and for you to put it in the chat box for me to know that you're not doing it. I already know that. What hold on. It came from a movie. It said, you know this, man. I think that was Chris Tucker, like back in the 90s or something like that. But anyway, I know it. Okay. All right. So create leverage in your existing business. See, here's the thing. Like, look at this image. It says small support. Leverage increases the power of person. That is so powerful. And every single one of you need more leverage in your business. Leverage increases the power of the person. Leverage increases the power of the group, of the team. Leverage increases the profit of your business. Leverage frees up time in your life. Leverage creates so many positive effects in your life and in your business that it can be compared to a rainbow. It's just absolutely beautiful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is something that, I'm committed to helping you out with, because again, as I look at individuals, as I listen to their stories, as I chat on the phone, on Facebook, I'm like, man, what can I create? What can I do to really help people create this leverage that they really need in order to get to the next level? I can help you build a list. I can help you build a list. I can help you earn 100% commissions. I can help you build residual income fast. Now, I know this probably sounds far-fetched, like, Jock, like, really, dude, you can do all this? Of course I can. I can help you to truly come up with a retirement plan versus a retirement wish. A lot of people wish they could retire, but the reality is they get to retirement age and they're working a few more years or they're broke. And, it just really shouldn't be that way if you're an entrepreneur. I can share with you the exact advertising, marketing strategies, and resources that I'm using and I'm going to be using, because trust me when I tell you, if there's one thing that's keeping Jacques T. Morris, Atlanta's own shirt and tie guy, from if there's one thing that's separating me from a multiple six-figure business and seven figures, it's just right here, that last line. Advertising, marketing strategies, and resources. Like, there's some things that I'm working on that I'm getting ready to have some breakthroughs with this year, and hopefully I'll help some of you have those breakthroughs also. That is literally going to propel my business from six figures to seven figures so fast it may make my head or my tie spin. I'm just saying, because I'm not far away. I know I'm not. Just like I knew I wasn't far away from six figures when, I was only making 20, 30,000. I was just like, I'm close. I can feel it. You feel it when you're getting close. It's something that's built inside of us. It's called intuition. Yeah, intuition. Anyway, all right. I can also help you by creating an ongoing advertising co-op with profits. See, a lot of times we hear about things called like a rotator or, hey, co-op and things like that, but it never really seems to come to fruition. It just like never really seems to pan out. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, don't rely on no rotator and don't rely on a co-op to simply build your business. Take what you can get from that as far as momentum and leads and traffic or whatever. However, it is imperative that you have to build on top of that if you're truly going to create a financially independent, scalable, and sustainable business. Man, that sounded complicated. Maybe I should get a degree for saying, no, I'm just kidding. All right. So Yeah, okay, cool. So let me introduce everybody to NWC. What is NWC? National Wealth Center. Some of you have heard of National Wealth Center before, and you're probably like, that's all he was going to share. Look, just sit tight because I'm going to share something with you. And here's why. Well, first, let me give you the backdrop. Let me tell you why I gave this particular why this particular program is getting my attention. See, because I do so many things, sometimes I have things that are golden sitting right on my plate, and I don't even see it because I have so much going on. I'm not going to say too much, but because I have so much going on. I actually looked at this program and I started investigating this program and I started looking even closer. And I said, this is a program that I can leverage to help other people get more momentum, more income, and build a list, generate traffic, whatever, whatever, whatever. This is something that, again, just stay with me here. I'll break it down. So what is National Wealth Center? Digital information for entrepreneurs in order to help them to progress through their growth and development process. There's no inventory, so, because it's digital information. It pays 100% commissions instantly to your PayPal. I've been getting paid the last couple months, and, quite honestly, I never really marketed this program because I didn't pay attention to it. It was inside of a system, and so, I just made money by default. I don't want to say accident, but I'll say by default. It's affiliate marketing, which I absolutely love affiliate marketing. One referral helps you to break even. And see, one of the things that I know about individuals in in network marketing is oftentimes the number one reason a person quits is because whatever they're spending each month has become a bill to them versus an investment and a tax deduction. I know that for a fact. When a person feels like, man, I'm just spending money, and again, it could be an excellent product, excellent service. But if that person was making money or if they were at a break-even point, trust me, like 95% of those people would not quit. So I get that. And with National Wealth Center, one referral, you break even. 9 referrals with what I'm about to share with you here gets you at $1,000 plus residual income. Now I want you to ask yourself, how many people does it take currently and what you're doing to be at $1,000 a month residual income? And again, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm just asking how many people, or customers or whatever does it take? I've analyzed this, to a very, very great degree, and 9 referrals. Now, there's 3 monthly products, the $25, $50, and $100 product. Then there are several one-time products. I'm not even talking about the one-time products. I'm only focusing in on residual income, the monthly, 25, 50, 100. So stay with me here. Here's the product library. As you can see, based on the red arrows, I have the 25, I have the 50, I have the 100. And then toward the bottom, you see the Savings Center, Vehicle Advantage, and Core. All excellent information and resources. You see to the right, the box. I currently have a residual income of $225 there. I've actually earned a little bit more than 1,000. Again, totally transparent because I don't want you to feel as though, oh, Jacques, he didn't share everything with me, pulling a veil over my eyes. I'm not that type of guy. Understand though, I did not focus any, I don't want to say real efforts, but I didn't focus attention on this program. This program is phenomenal. So National Wealth Center core product. And again, I don't have time to share everything with you that's inside of here. As you can see here, featured audio, Robert Posen, maximizing your time. Tell me what entrepreneur does not need to learn how to maximize their time. 12 pillars, proper use of time. They're on the right, featured article, time management for people who are too smart. Not people who are too busy, but people who are too smart. Again, I've been going through some of the information in the back office and in these products. Absolutely phenomenal. Success Magazine. You actually get access to the digital copy of Success Magazine. So there's a picture of that. This is a cover for this particular month here. You can read it online or you can listen to it by means of National Wealth Center. All right. To me, National Wealth Center, after closer investigation and scrutiny, it is an entrepreneur university because, let me just share with you. They teach online marketing. Like they have stuff as far as blogs, as far as traffic, as far as YouTube. I didn't even know all this stuff was in here until recently when I started just, bringing NWC up under the microscope. They teach offline marketing. They have success stories. They have personal development. They have mindset. They have information about taxes and a ton more. And here's what I want you to understand. they're solid digital information products. This is no money game. I don't have time for money games. Like I just don't have time for money games. I'm too old for money games. I mean, I'm just going to be straight with you. And can I guarantee that National Wealth Center is going to be here for the next 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years as it has its first 2 years? No, I can't guarantee that. However, I can guarantee you this. As long as Jacques T. Morris, as long as I'm in this game, I will find a company, a product, or something of value to make sure that I can help leverage that to assist you in reaching whatever your goals are. So there's already some established leaders that are present in this particular company. These are people that I know. Now, there are others that I've heard of, but these are people that I know. There's Steph Perez. She's there. Reginald Stinson. He's here. Tom, the furry hat guy. Keisha Bass. And, you just see the names again, and they're like over the last year, the last 6 months, last 3 months, last 30 days. These are people I know. These are people that have done very well online. These are 6- and 7-figure income earners. So, again, these are people that I trust. That's what I wanted to say. All right. Now, what is the Project 100 game plan? And this is where you have to really pay close attention, because this is where I'm going to show you how I'm going to leverage this particular program to help you build your business, whatever it is that you're doing. This is my goal. I want to assist 100 people to earn $1,000 residual income. I'd like to do that in the next 90 days. However, maybe it'll take 6 months, maybe it'll take 9 months. However long it takes, that's what I'm determined to do. And, the last affiliate marketing company that I was with, and I'm not going to name any names, I personally brought in 450 people within 15 months. Well, guess what? I know a whole lot more about internet marketing, people, relationships now than I did then. I'm just saying. But I said, I'm going to do Project 100 first, because to be quite honest with you, like, this is a pilot project for me. Like, I feel like everything is here that I need, and now I just have to go out and find the people that are a good fit to work with me in this particular program, and then I'll probably introduce Project 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000, something like that. I don't know, but again, that's just kind of sharing with you my vision. Like, when I do something, I begin with the end in mind. I know exactly what I want to do with this and what I feel can be done. So in order to work with me in Project 100, now granted, a person can come into NWC at any of the different price points, but in order for this to make sense, and I want you to stay with me, in order for this to make sense for you and for me, because again, I want to create a win-win situation, a person has to be at 25, 50, and 100. And it doesn't matter if they're a pass up, meaning like out of your first 4 sales, you pass up number 2 and number 4, and all the rest of the sales from to infinity, they go to you. And then when you actually refer people, their number 2 and number 4 pass up comes to you. So again, it's a win-win. You're not building a downline. You're building definitely building a team, if you will, though. So in order for this to make sense, a person has to be at 25, 50, and 100. And I showed you that I actually have all 3 of those levels active and open. What I'm committed to doing is taking 43, and this is just an average, 43% or more of the profits that I generate from those that partner with me and put right back into your business. Let me repeat that. I am committed, because see, here's the bottom line. You come in and you spend $175. I can say, okay, cool, that's $175. I'm paying my $175. Cool. You know what? I'm earning $175. But I'm like, well, I don't need all that money. Why don't I take 75 of the 100 and put that right back into some paid marketing campaigns and advertising, create a huge co-op, and as long as a person is active at 25, 50, and 100 each month, they get the benefit from that traffic. They get the leads, they get the traffic, they get the signups. And I do that for as long as you're active and you're in this particular company with me. Because, I could say, hey, I'm going to do this for 3 months, or I'm going to do this the first 30 days. No, I want you to keep getting leads. I want you to keep building your list. I want you to keep getting traffic, keep getting signups. Why? Because at that point, you're going to be committed to building that list. You're going to learn how to email and create income on demand. You're going to have people signing up with you here in NWC. You're going to learn, like you're going to learn my strategies. You're going to know my resources. But let me share some more with you. the advertising, marketing, and leads, again, I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to share that with you, so that way, if you want to accelerate the growth of NWC with me or anything else that you're doing, you're going to know exactly where to go to for traffic. You're going to know exactly what strategies to utilize. You can't see this here, but I've already found one source that will provide 75 leads for $73. 75 leads. Laser targeted, I want to make money online leads for $73. So I said, well, hey, I'm going to take 75 out of 175 and put back into your business. This one source says, hey, Jacques, for 73 bucks, you can get 73 leads. If you get 73 laser target leads, whether you got to get on the phone, email them, or whatever, what is the likelihood that you're going to close some of them? And then that you're going to get better in closing month after month. Understand, I didn't say spend 73 of your dollars. I said I'm going to take 73 of the dollars that you're already spending as a result of having these different product levels active, and I'm going to put that back into your business because I'm not greedy. I don't need all the money. Does that make sense? I'm just going to pause right there. I just want to see if this much so far makes sense. If it makes sense to you, type in "makes sense," because I just want to make sure I'm not losing you, so you understand the power of what I'm sharing with you. Again, type in "makes sense," and like, I just got to make sure that this makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you got to let me know, because if you don't understand this part, you're going to totally miss what I'm sharing with you. And does it, okay, let me ask a better question. Does this not make sense to anybody? That I'm going to take money that you're already spending that would normally be 100% profit of mine, I'm saying 43% minimum, I'm turning around and I'm going to spend it back in your business to help you grow your business. I'm going to send you traffic. I'm going to send you leads. I'm going to get you signups. I'm going to help you build your business. When I showed you earlier that I generated 236 leads in one day, I already have a capture page. And again, there's a number of different ways that, we may potentially do this. I already have a capture page that converts at nearly 50%. So if I took $75 and sent that much traffic, you probably would end up with somewhere with, like, say, that would probably be like 100 clicks. You probably end up with somewhere between 50 and 60 leads on your email list. Or I could say, all right, well, I'm gonna go spend it over here in this other source. There's your 75 leads. Now you call them and you contact them and you pitch them on whatever you want to pitch them on. Okay? All right, cool. Yeah, of course. A lot of people would never do this because, again, for a lot of people, and granted, if you're in business to make money. Everybody knows I'm a savvy business person. But I'm like, hold on. They're paying 100% commissions? Why not just put that back into other people's business and help them to help accelerate your growth and learning curve? There we go. And then be transparent with you and share with you what it is that I'm doing, so that way if you want to go above and beyond what I'm going to do for you, then you can. You're going to grow your list. It's built into money that you're already spending. That's what I'm committed to doing, helping you grow your list. It's built into the budget, so to speak. I'm going to create a Facebook group. I'm going to show you the stats, the conversion stats, as far as the numbers, because again, people, like, they'll let you come into a co-op, but they're not going to share the numbers with you. I want you to see the numbers. I want you to see how many people are on the rotator. I want you to see how many clicks, how many leads were generated, because I want you to understand that these are essentials in running your business. And that way, when you understand the inner workings of your business, you can scale your business. Again, I'm going to generate you leads. I'm going to share with you the exact traffic sources. I'm going to be totally transparent with everything. I have nothing to hide. The only thing I have is a desire to help you to win. Because guess what? I help 100 people win. I help 100 people win. When you do your pass-ups come to me. So guess what? That'll be even more people. But then I'm going to go out and I'm going to do project 200. So again, it's a win-win. All right. This is leverage for the life of the company, or for however long we're doing this, or even if I find another company, like, I don't know. But what I feel is though this is leverage for life. I don't know why other people haven't did this. Like, again, people have done co-ops, they've done rotators, and they'll build, put you on a rotator, put you on a page, or say, hey, send money for your co-op. It's already built in. it's built into the purchase of products that you would normally have to pay for anyway. So like it's just leverage, and every single one of you need more leverage in whatever it is that you're doing, because trust me when I tell you, an additional $1,000 a month residual income, that will change a lot of your lives. It will literally change your life, because it's going to open up options and resources and things that you normally couldn't do, or that you felt, kind of hindered on doing. It's going to open up the gates, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll. So rotators and co-ops, like I said, one of the issues that I've seen is they're never long term. My commitment is, as long as I'm in this company and you're in this company with me, and you're keeping your 25, 50, and $100 membership level active, this is running indefinitely. It's running indefinitely, because it only makes sense for me to help you build your business. All right. Traffic, that'll flow between the 1st and the 5th of the month. Why? Because everybody that gets started, like say tonight or through the end of this month, then I can look in the back office. I can see who was active at what membership level. Boom, I'm taking the money, buying traffic, sharing all the stats with you in Facebook. We're going to rock and roll. And then, I'm going to share some other things with you, but I don't have time to reveal everything to you tonight. Just know that it's a win-win-win situation, because it's not a matter of if you're going to reach your goals. It's a matter of when are you going to reach your goals when you're working with Jacques T. Morris, Atlanta's own, the coolest guy in the entire state. All right. So how do I get started? Again, like I don't have any super pitch or anything like that. I'm not going to like drill you over the head, because I got some money I want to give away, and I have some questions that I want to answer. So if you want to get started with me in this particular project, which is Project 100, I need you to go to jacquestmorris.com/NWC. That stands for National Wealth Center. You're going to go there, put in your name, your email address, phone number, and then you're going to go to a page. I may pull that up here in just a second, but it's going to educate you even more than what I have shared with you this evening on what National Wealth Center is and how it works. And let me tell you, there's a video on that page. It's a 5-minute video, ladies and gentlemen. They have mapped out a plan where you could retire just at the $25 level in 10 weeks. The plan, the video absolutely blew my mind. However, I'm not playing at just the $25 level. I'm saying I want to work with people that are serious, because I'm going to put 100 people in this at $175 a piece, and I'm going to take a minimum of $75 each month, which, let me just do the math for you, for those that may not be math wizards. $175 a piece, 100 people, that's $17,500. 43% of that is $7,500. That is a given. More than likely, knowing me, because I'm just that type of guy, I'm going to raise the amount that I'm going to put into paid advertising, because the bottom line, you get signups, you get traffic, you get leads, you build your business, you generate income. You're not going anywhere. It takes one person at 175, you're at break even. So that's that. Okay, so tonight I got a fast action bonus, because I was like, man, like I love to reward people that take action. I was going to put together this super duper bonus package, but forget all that. Like, here's what I'm going to do, because the bottom line is, like, you have to be committed if you're going to win in this industry regardless. So whether I put bonuses on the table or not, it's just not really going to make that much of a difference. However, I love to reward action takers. So I have a membership site called the Inner Circle Coaching Club, where all of my digital information products are available. And for those that are in there, I allow them to promote those as affiliates, and earn 100% commissions on my products. You can say, hey, go get Jots, whatever product. And if you send that to somebody and you're part of ICC, the Inner Circle Coaching Club, you earn 100% commissions. So I didn't even put the price and everything of this particular club up here, because I'm in the process of changing it to $97 a month, or $9.97 a year, or $19.97 lifetime. I'm going to give you 1 year access to my ICC, Inner Circle Coaching Club, at no cost when you actually get started with me in WC at 25, 50, and 100 tonight. And then this Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody gets started, regardless of what level you get started at, because I get it. Some of you may say, well, Jacques, you know what? I want to do this, but I only got $25. Cool. Guess what I'll tell you? Come on board. But if you want to be in this lifetime advertising co-op, then what I need you to do is actually be at all 3 levels before the end of the month. But again, training Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I have a ton more information to share and I couldn't pack it all in a 90-minute webinar. It's just too much information, because I want to show you some of the things that I recently discovered. And like I said, I'm super duper excited about this particular project. So free cash giveaway and Q&A. Cool. Woo, man. Ha 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 ha. Okay, cool. So vast majority of people, looks like 90% of you are still here. So that's totally cool. For those that left, guess what? You don't get that winning money, baby. Because guess what? You don't have to join me, or you don't have to be a part of NWC to win the money, you know. And what I'm going to do, because, you know, I was toiling it over in the back of my mind, and I actually have a number written down here on my page as far as the number, because I gave instructions for those that came on early. I gave instructions for you to write down a number. So what I'm getting ready to do here, because I want to go ahead and get this cleared up. So let me just go on Facebook and let me make a post real quick. Again, hopefully you are my Facebook friend. So let me just make a post, and I'm doing this on another computer. What is the number that you wrote down at the beginning of the webinar? All right, and I just hit post. So again, if you're a friend of mine, if we're connected on Facebook, I just hit post on my other computer, and the post says, and again, you go to Jacques T. Morris well, on Facebook, it says, what is the number that you wrote down at the beginning of the webinar? So go ahead and post your number in the comment section, on that particular post. And not here on GoToWebinar. Go to my Facebook page, Jacques T. Morris. Like, I'm the guy with the shirt and tie, coolest guy in the entire state. Go there, comment on my post what your number was, and then here's what I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna give away, well, you know what? Let me see. How do I want to do this? Do I want to tell you now what I'm gonna give away? Do I want to tell you now? Should I tell you now, or should I do Q&A? Okay. Let me just say, I'm looking for 2 winners. I'm looking for 2 winners tonight. And let me just say, each of those winners will end up with a Benjamin. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to transfer the money to you tonight via my PayPal. So hopefully you got PayPal, because that's just how I transact. And I'm going to send the money. And again, this is whether anybody joins me or not. Like, I just totally appreciate you coming here, spending time with me this evening, listening to this information. Unfortunately, those that are listening to the recording, hey, you don't have the opportunity to win. The contest is over. Already sent the money, you know. But again, I appreciate you too for also taking the time to look at the recording. And I understand that, you know, hey, there's no way for me to set things at a particular time that appeals to everyone. So I just simply play with who shows up. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in this particular program. I'm going to play hard on the field, in the paint, with whomever shows up. So JacquesTMorris.com/NWC. Now let's take some Q&A. All right, cool. Man. Well, first, before I take some questions, did everybody enjoy tonight's information? Like, if you enjoyed tonight's information, just put in enjoy. You know, like, I just want to know that you enjoyed the information. Whether or not you get started, you know, like, again, it doesn't even make any difference, because I just said, hey, first I'm going to give, okay, cool. Yeah, first I want to give individuals that I know are entrepreneurs, I want to give them first opportunity to work with me in this project. You're on my list, you're one of my Facebook friends, you get the first opportunity. From there, I'm just going hard in the paint, because the bottom line is I'm looking for people that are hungry, like people that are starving for success. Because regardless of where I'm at, I've figured out as an entrepreneur, because it's very easy to get comfortable at the table of success. Hey, I push myself away from the table, I'm back on the field. So hard in the paint. Okay, cool. Your friends. Okay, so again, if you're friends with me on Facebook, just simply click my name, and you should be able to see all the posts that are on my Facebook page. And I hear the chimes going off, and I can see the answers on my other computer. So yeah, everybody should be able to post. And yeah, okay, cool. So, and again, one of the things that I really want you to get is that this is not designed to interfere with anything that you're currently doing. because affiliate marketing and what I plan on doing with this, it doesn't take a lot of time. You're going to be learning things that will take time, but these are things that you're going to be able to use regardless of the business model that you feel, you're focusing in on. Okay. And yeah. Okay. 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 All right. All right, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, you reach out to me on Facebook. Me and you need to talk, sister. Okay. Okay. We'll talk. We'll talk. Cool. All right. Okay. Great. Okay. Starvin over here. Cool. 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 All right. No, 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 no. Yeah, you just simply go to my Facebook page. Just like if you were going to go to my wall and you were going to look at some of the things that I've been posting, and if we're friends on Facebook, it should actually be showing up in your news feed. You should see the post that I put. So yeah, and it should be right. Like I can hear the chimes going off. So let's go ahead and get into some Q&A. I'm looking at the time here. Excuse me. I'll go ahead and answer. Does anybody have any questions about the content that I shared or about National Wealth Center? Like whatever, man, I want you to get your questions answered and I'll be more than happy to entertain those. In the meantime, in between time, before we actually even get deep into the Q&A, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So, hey, again, for everybody that attended, hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, wholeheartedly, be it whether you're, attending live or the recording. I just want to say thank you. I truly appreciate you. And trust me when I tell you, do not sleep on this guy in the shirt and tie, because I'm going to be doing a lot of things throughout the remainder of this year. And I'm just going to look to help people, as much as possible. So super excited. And thank you once again. I'll see you next time.